Yo, what's going on, everybody? How are you guys doing today? This is Spartacus bringing our rain, coming at you with a toy review on the Amazing Yamaguchi Venom. Let's get into the packaging before we can get familiar with the figure. Of course, we got Venom in a window box display. You have the Amazing Yamaguchi logo and the Revoltech logo as well. You have an image of Venom in the side of the box, and on the side of the box, you have the Amazing Yamaguchi logo on the top. And you have "You're interrupting my lunch," then Venom, and some other words that I cannot read because Venom is covering it up. And you have Venom in the bottom of the box as well. And on the back of the box, there are images of Venom, of poses you can pose the figure in, and some of his accessories on the bottom as well. And on the other side of the box, you have an image of Venom. So let's crack this bad boy up and let's look at the action figure. Now that we have this figure outside its packaging, my first initial thoughts about the figure is that I'm absolutely blown away by the amount of detail, the sculpting, and the paint job on this figure. Of course, there are bad things about the figure, and of course, there are good things about the figure. And we'll get on that a little later on. When I think about Venom, I think about him as a more bulkier and more ruthless villain for Spider-Man. Especially that he was portrayed in the comics like that. And he was portrayed in the Spider-Man 90s anime cartoon. I will be comparing it with the Marvel Legends. I know it's like comparing apples to oranges, but I will be showing you the reasons why I don't think the Marvel Legends Venom is the best Venom out there. But we will take a look at his accessories first, and we'll take a look at Venom. These are the accessories that comes with Venom. He does come with one pair of long tentacles, one small pair of tentacles, one faceplate, and his tongue. One minor complaint about the figure is that I did pay around $80 to $90 for the figure, and it does come with small amount of accessories, and that's one thing that kind of bugs me about the figure. But the paint apps on the tentacles are really, really nice. They are about the same size. I will be showing you one of each. So let's start with the long tentacle. This is the long tentacle for Venom. I think Revoltech did a nice job on it, especially the gunmetal on the end. I like the fact that they added another paint to it because I wouldn't like it all plain. So I like that they did that. And it does have little dots around it, little sculpting of it. So that's nice that they did that. They didn't just make it just pure black and that was it. That adds a more characteristic to the tentacles. And they have a hinge on the middle and on the top as well. And how to remove his arm to put the tentacles, you just pop this open like so. And you just place the peg in the socket. And of course, this is as long a tentacle placed on his arm. Doesn't look too bad, but there is a minor thing I have a gripe with it, is that it's kind of loose on his arm. Like you see that? I can't put it all the way in. It goes in, but it like slowly gets out. So that's kind of like a gripe. I didn't even pull that hard for it. And also you could place the tentacles in the back of him. They have pegs on them, so you can port them any way you want them. I don't think he looks too bad with his tentacles. I think he looks pretty cool, as you may notice. But I won't be posing him like that. I kind of don't like him having those tentacles on the top. But anyways, let's look at the small ones. These are the small tentacles for Venom. I think Revoltech did a nice job with them as well. They're about the same as the large ones. They have a gunmetal on the end of it, so that's not bad. They also have dots all around, just like the large ones, so not bad as well. They do have a hinge on the middle, and in the end. This is Venom with all his tentacles attached to him. Not too bad, but I'd rather prefer him without his tentacles. Like for me, I wouldn't use these accessories a lot in my display. But anyways, let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. Of course, I'll be showing you the tongue next. I think Revoltech did a nice job on the tongue. I'm really digging it. This is my favorite accessory out of the whole bunch, because look at the paint job that they did. It looks organic. I'm really digging this. Of course, it does have a peg for you can peg it in his head, and I will be showing you that right now. Little hole inside his mouth. You just have to line the peg with that hole, and you just peg it slightly down, and it pegs good, and it has nice articulation on it too, so you can move it anywhere you want it to move. That's one of the accessories I'll be using a lot, because I like the fact that how it looks on Venom. It looks really crazy. This is the other faceplate. Not too bad. One side is like winking and the other eye is like wide open. I don't think it's not too bad. I really am not going to use this accessory. I'm not feeling it, but I will be showing you how you place it to Venom. By removing the faceplate, you just have to push up on this part of the head, and it shows you the white of it, and you see the peg on the head. So you align the faceplate to the peg. For me, I'm not really digging it. Like, it looks okay, and that's the problem. It looks okay. Like, one side is winking and the other side is just regular eyes, I guess. Not too bad, but I rather like his neutral face in my opinion. But anyways, let's continue on. Now that we took a look at all his accessories, let's look at Venom. Now that we took a look at his accessories, let's look at Venom. I think Revoltech did a nice job with him. There are gripes about the figure that I do not like, and there are good things I like about him. Of course, the thing I like about him, as the figure goes, is the sculpting and the paint job on him. And the articulation. The thing I don't like about him is this. Is his top body. It's like really loose. Like really crazy loose. And he's really heavy. Like, you gotta watch out on how you pose him, because if you pose him in like certain ways, he falls. So you gotta be wary about that for you not to break the figure. But he could pose him easily, so it's not too bad. He could stand by himself. Nothing bad about that. But be wary about that. I like the sculpting on him, like the veins and all that on his arms. Like, it looks crazy. And I like the paint job, like a mix of black and purple, and it looks really nice. It looks organic, and I like that. His biceps look nice. Everything about the figure I like. Even the symbol. There is paint bleeding of the white going to the purple. That's just like nitpicking on it, because you don't notice it unless you like look at the figure like really closely. So that's not noticeable. Also, nice sculpting on the other arm. Nicely done. And of course, he does have the Revoltech joints, but you can't hide them easily as well. So they did a nice job with that too. And this is what I like about his articulation. Is his fingers. It reminds me of Toy Biz, especially that two of his fingers are articulated and the last two are stuck together. So that reminds me so much of Toy Biz, but that's just my opinion. If you have the figure, let me know what you guys think. But anyways, nice sculpting on the calves, nicely done. Veins all around him, actually. Not too bad. Also in his toes. Can articulate them. And this is one thing I don't get about them. What they did is that the paint job on him in the back. Like, you could tell that they were going to make him black, but decided to have it purple. And they didn't finish it. Like, this joints are black and the middle is purple blackish. So I don't understand why they didn't finish it off on all the joints, but that's just my opinion. That's one thing I have a gripe with the figure as well. Even the sculpting on the teeth, it looks nice. It looks crazy. especially with the tongue out. So I like that. It looks crazy in person. If you guys get this figure, you'll be amazed on how good the sculpting is. So overall, not a bad figure, but like I said, you got to be wary about the top body of him, because he is heavy. Like, you notice him, like, I'm trying to like move his legs for him to stand, and it's just like, that's a little gripe I have with him. But anyways, let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. And now to get into articulation of the figure, his neck is in a ball joint, so he can move up. Not all the way up as I wanted to. As you can see, can move down. He does swivel his neck all around. He doesn't have a ball joint in his head, so that's unfortunate. So you gotta move the neck when you're articulating the head. So that's the only downfall about the figure. He does have a hinge on his jaw, so that's good. So he can close his mouth all the way, but because of the tongue, he doesn't close it. Arms do go out all the way out, so that's good. Go all the way to the center, so that's really good as well. His elbows do bend all the way in, so that's good. He does have articulation in his finger. He does have an ab crunch, so he crunches down all the way down, so that's really good for a big figure. So that's crazy. He does hinge all the way back, so that's really good. And he has this crazy new articulation for Revoltech. He has a new hinge in the back where you can move it for you can have more articulation on his arms, so that's good. But because of that, it does the bitch on his arm, so that you got to be wary about that. So I usually just don't move it at all. I just usually have it just like that for it could be hidden. But anyways, he doesn't have a swivel on his thigh, so that's bad. He does kick all the way out, so that's good. Does the splits about this much. Does bend at the knee all the way in, so that's good. His ankles do move up, down. He does have a hinge on his toes, and he does have ankle pivot. And for size comparison, we have the Marvel Legends Venom next to the Revoltech Venom. If I had to choose between these two figures to get, I would mostly choose the Revoltech Venom due to the fact that of the sculpting of the figure, the paint job, the articulation, and the bulk of him. The Marvel Legends Venom, he's okay to have, but there's just something about him that I really do not like. Like, for instance, his big head and his teeth and the sculpting of his mouth. I don't like that green ooze or spit or whatever he has in his tongue. I don't appreciate that. If they would have done it clean, I would have been fine, but I don't like that. And I don't like the fact that he's not bulky like the Revoltech Venom. Like, I would have wished if he was going to be bulky, he built a figure just like the Space Venom. That would have been awesome. And especially we've seen this mold of a figure placed on other figures, and I don't like when a lot of companies use too much of their molds. It's like they're not trying, they're just trying to throw the figure out there, and I don't like that. But anyways, let's continue on with the rest of the review. And for size comparison, we have the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and the Marvel Legends Black Suited Spider-Man. As you could tell, they do scale with one another. I do like how they look together with the Revoltech, because Venom suit looks more organic than both of them. And it should be like that, not a clean look. That's the only thing I didn't like about the Marvel Legends Venom. It looked more like a suit more than a symbiote, in my opinion. But I do like the Pizza Spider-Man standing next to the Revoltech Venom. It looks awesome together. But anyways, let's continue on with the rest of the review. And for my final thoughts about the figure, it is a good figure to have in your collection, especially if you collect the Marvel Legends series line. I like the fact that it goes good with the Pizza Spider-Man. I cannot wait to put him in my Marvel Legends shelf. I like this Venom so much due to the fact he reminds me of the comics Venom, the Spider-Man animated Venom, and it reminds me a little of the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Venom. No? Maybe? I don't know. That's just me. If I was to rate this figure 1 through 10, I would mostly choose a 7 due to the fact this his upper body is really flimsy. That's why he gets a 7. That's the biggest gripe I have with the figure. But other than that, I do love the sculpting, the size of him, and the paint job of him. But anyways, I hope you guys like my review. If you could please like, comment, subscribe for more content coming your way. And as always, have a good one.